Hey allihopa! It's time for another pregnancy update. I think it's been about a month since the last one, so I do have some things to talk about. And I had planned to film this in daylight, but you know, time flies on Sundays, and there is still some light outside, but I am counting on Theo getting out of his bed because we're trying to put him to bed, and also I have a tendency to ramble, so the lighting might go a bit up and down, and I'm sorry that I can't do better with the lighting. At least I have a clean background, which isn't always a given with my videos because our house is not always clean. But yeah, let's just start and get into the symptoms. Braxton Hicks, I am getting them every now and then, like probably every day, but not a lot. And what I've noticed is that they don't come more often when I am active, which is what I thought that they would, because I didn't have any Braxton Hicks with Tyrion, and with Theo I don't think I had a lot of them, and now I've had them for a long time, since like week 16 maybe, or 17, or even earlier, and I expected them to come when I was like overexerting myself or something, but I can get them just lying down on the couch or whatever, so I don't know. I think it's weird, but it's probably not weird. But yeah, they're not painful or anything. It's not even really uncomfortable. It's just like, whoa, yeah, okay, there's a Braxton Hicks, and then I kind of like just wait for it to pass, and then it passes. Heartburn. I'm having heartburn, but not nearly as badly as with the other kids. I remember, especially with Tyrion, I think, just every evening, just sitting up in bed, cursing myself for having dinner almost, just because, or for having a snack after dinner, because it obviously made it worse. And I'm kind of worried that that was at the later stage of the pregnancy, and I'm just thinking that it's better this time, because obviously it might get worse, but I'm hoping that it doesn't get much worse, because it's annoying and frustrating, but it's not like debilitating. Like I've said before, pelvic pain and back pain is something that I do have, but it depends on the day. Some days I wake up with like pain in my back or my pelvis or the front region or whatever, and it just kind of gets worse throughout the day, and some days it just kind of creeps up on me at the end of the day, and some days I don't really feel anything except for just a normal strain that you have. So I don't know, it's good days and bad days, I guess. Oh, I think I forgot to say how far along I am. Let's check my app to be sure that I am saying this right. I know I'm in week 25. I am 24 weeks and 4 days. So yeah, I've finished 24 weeks, so I am in week 25. That's always very confusing. Anyway, let's move on with the symptoms. Nausea has actually come back just sometimes, some days. I think it's been connected to the cold that I've been having. I kind of got a cold a couple of weeks ago, and then it went away for a few days, and then it came back, and I was actually at home on Friday from work because I was feeling so bad, and I had had a fever throughout the night and stuff. And I think it feels like the nausea has come back when I've had this cold as well. So it could just be like all the mucus and blah, yucky stuff. I don't really know, but it's not that constant like nausea throughout the entire day that I had at the beginning of the pregnancy, so it's nowhere near that. It's just been a bit annoying to feel it again. I can't remember if I've mentioned this in other pregnancy updates, but I do have a stuffy nose sometimes. Right now, like I said, I have a cold, so that's why. But also before I was even sick at all, I got a stuffy nose some days. And I've never had that with my other pregnancies, but I've read that that's common when you are pregnant, so that's kind of interesting. It's very interesting to see which symptoms are the same and which are new, and which, at least so far, haven't shown up. One that hasn't happened yet isn't really a symptom, it's more of like the baby. She doesn't hiccup, So far, I've never felt her hiccup, and I'm very happy about it, because with the other kids, I always got very nauseous when they started having hiccups. Theo had them every day, and it, for some whatever reason, just a rhythmic, like, I don't know, just the fact that it was very rhythmic, and something about it made me super nauseous every time. And so far I haven't had to deal with that, which is good. Another symptom that I don't think that I had with the other kids, I think it was more like after giving birth, is that I pee myself every now and then when I sneeze or when I cough. Not every time, because I've been coughing like crazy and sneezing like crazy as well throughout this cold, but just randomly a little tiny bit of pee will come out. So I now have panty liners in my panties all the time, just to be sure. And I know that I need to do my, what's it called? You know, the exercises that you do with the muscles down there to keep from peeing at random times. I am very bad at remembering to do them. So I'm gonna try and get some kind of routine in so that I actually do them every day. But yeah, that's a very annoying symptom that I haven't had, I think, with the other kids. And then the last thing that I wanted to bring up is that bras are too small. Obviously that symptom is that my breasts have grown, and as I recall, they didn't do that either with the other kids. They kind of stayed the same for the pregnancies, and then afterwards, when my milk came in, that's when they like exploded. But this time, and it's been like that for many weeks now, all my bras are too small, and it's frustrating, and I don't want to buy new ones. I don't really know why. I don't know. The size fluctuates so much after giving birth that I just don't want to spend money on something that I might not use. And then at the same time, they're probably not going to get smaller. So I actually have ordered now a few larger like nursing bras. And also this morning I was thrilled to find a bra that I actually fit into. This I'm wearing it now. It's well, I'm not going to show off my bra, but it's a workout bra that I got maybe a year and a half ago, and I haven't used it much because it's, you can't see it now because I'm sitting too far down, but it's so like structured and kind of thick in the material that the lines, you know, right here, they show up when I have clothes over it. So I don't use it on a daily basis or anything. I've just used it when I've worked out before. And this morning I realized that I had it on the smallest hook all the time, and I realized that it had like this much space to hook it larger in the back. So I did that and I put it on, and I want to live in this bra for the next 3.5 months. It's just so comfortable because, as you saw, the bands are very, very wide, much wider than any other bra that I have. So I almost feel like I don't have a bra on, which normally I get like back pain and shoulder pain from the straps and from the like weight and everything. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to use this bra and wear this bra every day now. I don't know how I'm gonna do that because, like I said, it's a training bra or workout bra or whatever. And still, again, the kind of contours of the bra show. But it's so comfy. And I'm so happy that I realized that. Yeah, that's too much rambling about bras. I think that was all of the symptoms. Yeah, I do have lots of other things that I want to talk about, so let's just move on. Last week I went to a midwife's appointment. In Sweden, at least, you go mostly to see a midwife throughout your pregnancy, and then you can see a doctor if there's anything specific that you need to address. And like I said in the last update, I did see a doctor. I'm going to see her again in 2 weeks to talk about getting sick leave, part-time sick leave from my work, because it's just a bit too much during pregnancy, and also since I've had a preemie kid before, they don't want me to overexert myself. But most of the time when I go in for a checkup, it's with a midwife, and that's what I did last week. And we listened to the heartbeat for the first time, which was awesome, and she measured the belly for the first time as well. I feel like we did all of this stuff much earlier in the other pregnancies, but maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. But she measured the belly, and she said that it was actually on the bigger side. It was even, I didn't really understand the chart that she had, but it was like outside of the chart somehow. And I don't know, but she said that sometimes when you've had several kids before, the belly measures a bit big around this time in the pregnancy, and then it will kind of even out or whatever. So next time we'll measure again and see if it's like in a better place on the chart. But I don't know. I do feel like the belly's big, so I guess that just confirms it. We also, what did we talk about? Oh, we chose a hospital where we want to give birth. We're choosing the same that we did with the other kids, because we know our way around it and we haven't had any problems, so why change something that works? And then for the rest of the appointment, we basically talked about my anxiety. And I guess that's something that I should have brought up in the symptoms, but I feel like the anxiety isn't really because of the pregnancy. It's just the fact that I am pregnant, and with everything else going on in our lives, it's just been a very hard thing to deal with. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, my husband lost his job and kind of went into a depression, undiagnosed depression, 4 or 5 months ago, and I found out that I was pregnant just a few days after. So being pregnant with all the hormones, and also just thinking of bringing another person into the world, and then being the breadwinner of the family at the same time, and also having a husband who needs more support just mentally and physically and everything, it was just very hard for me, or it is very hard. So I talked with my midwife just about the anxiety about that, and then a couple of hours later, when I had gotten to work, I got a text message from my husband saying that he had gotten hired, that he had a job, and now he's working. So it kind of felt silly that I had talked to her for probably half an hour about the economic anxiety that I was having and how we were gonna afford everything, and then Michael got a job a couple of hours later. And hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well with this job. He seems to be happy with it so far, and yeah, it's just, yeah, whatever. That's what I wrote down for the midwife appointment anyway, and I've been talking for 14 minutes, so let's move on. I have written down planning hospital bag, and that is something that I've been doing for the past week or two. I have a little note on my phone where I keep writing down things that I want in my hospital bag. Obviously, I've done this twice before. I've only packed a bag once though, because with Tyrion, he was born so early that I never got the chance to pack a hospital bag. But I do have a video of what I packed when I was pregnant with Theo, so I'll link that in the card. I think it's that way, but I'm never sure. I'm planning to do a video like that this time around too. And even though I've been starting to plan the bag and what I want in it, I'm gonna try and hold off to pack it for a while longer, because obviously I'm 25 weeks or 24 weeks, whatever you want to call it, and I probably won't need it for a long time yet. So I'm trying to hold off, but it's very exciting, and I'm watching YouTube videos of other pregnant ladies and what they put in their bags and everything. So that's something that I'm putting a lot of thought into right now. And also, like I mentioned before, I have ordered some clothes online, pregnancy or maternity clothes. I've actually ordered from 4 different places, I think, and I am expecting to return lots of it. I just want to try a bunch of things on and see what fits me. And connected to that, I've kind of been on a maternity fashion bender, specifically on Pinterest. If it's possible to link a board on Pinterest, which I assume it is. I'll put the link below in the comments, in the description I mean, because I made a board eventually after just scrolling through lots of clothes and just thinking, oh that's cute, oh that's so cute, I want to wear that this summer, or something like that this summer. I eventually made a board, and I'm just putting lots of different outfit ideas and stuff there that I never really played around with before. I'm not very adventurous when it comes to fashion in general, and then during pregnancy I think I just kind of put myself in this little box of what you can wear when you're pregnant, and seeing all these pictures of women wearing regular clothes, just using them in different ways during pregnancy, and I don't know, it's just been fun. So we'll see what all the orders that I made, what it will like bring in, what I will keep, but I'm definitely gonna do a maternity clothes haul once I've gotten all the packages. Whew. I feel like I'm talking so fast, but it's because I have so much to talk about. The next thing that I wrote down is name confusion, and that is because I think I mentioned this before, we have had a name picked out for probably 10 years if we ever had a girl. Now we're having a girl and I am not sure about the name. So that's frustrating to me, because I just want to name her and start talking to or about the belly with the name. That's what I did with Theo the second we found out that he was a boy, or even before we found out. I started talking to him as Theo because I thought that he was a boy. And this time around I'm not sure anymore, and I have other names that I like, but none of them are names that Michael really likes, and I don't know, it's frustrating. I know we're gonna find a name eventually, and it might be this name that we've had picked out for so long, but I just can't feel like... With the others we found a name and that was the name, and this time I don't know. Another thing that I've written down that's just a tiny thing is that sleeping on my left side is hard. They say that you should sleep on your left side when you're this pregnant for different reasons, and you should avoid sleeping on your back. And even when I try and put a pillow behind my back before I go to sleep to keep from rolling over, but every time I wake up can't speak. Every time I wake up I'm on my back, no matter what I do. So that's just a tiny little frustration. We are finally at the last thing that I have written down, and that is nesting and planning for the crib. Right now the camera is standing on our dresser, and I moved that dresser to this spot a few hours ago. It's been over there in the room, and I was just like, we're not going to be able to fit the crib next to our bed, and I want it next to our bed, kind of like a co-sleeper. That's what I did with the other kids, and that's worked out for us. And I knew that it wasn't going to fit in with the dresser next to the bed, so now the dresser is like opposite of the bed or whatever, and now there's room for the crib. And that's just a tiny part of all the nesting feelings that I'm having. I'm going through boxes, and I'm going through like not even baby related things, but just things in the house, like cupboards in the kitchen. I just want things in order. And it is frustrating. Also, we have been planning some renovations, like minor renovations, like painting the walls in this room, and when Michael kind of crashed, all of those plans went out of the window, kind of. But I still really want to do them, obviously, and Michael doesn't, because he's not motivated to do them, and I'm not allowed to paint because I'm pregnant and all that stuff. And that's a big frustration of mine right now. So I'm doing what I can to just make this house feel like ours. For anyone who doesn't know, we took this house over a few months ago from Michael's parents, who have been living here for 35-ish years, 33-ish years, and it's just hard to make it feel like your own, at least for me. I'm sure Michael feels at home here because he grew up here, but I don't, and painting and doing little things like that is what makes it feel more like mine. And so it's frustrating to me, and at the same time I obviously can't like push Michael to do those things because he needs to focus on his mental health and now his work and everything. So that's not what I was going to talk about with the nesting, but it's part of the nesting. So I guess I ranted about that for a while too. And now I'm going to do a belly shot, and then I promise I'm going to end the video. This room is so small that I can't fit the camera and my body anywhere else. So this is just where we're going to do this. I think I'm just going to put my shirt up so you can actually see the actual belly. I think that's the first time, because I've kind of been a bit self-conscious about the belly. I don't know why. Anyway, here's the belly from the front. And here's from the side. And like I said, it's pretty big. At least according to my midwife. And then from the other side, and here you can see the peeking of my bra. This bra shot is actually super cute too, with like flowers and stuff. So I'm gonna find a way to wear it. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this pregnancy update. I wish the lighting could have been this good for the entire video, but whatever. That's life. Please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of our bi-weekly family vlogs. And we will see you on Wednesday or Thursday with a normal vlog. And thank you for watching today. Hej då!